By now you may have worked with our project management feature that allows you to create a project plan, bring requirements onto the project plan, and then decompose those down into detailed tasks. You can do this all in a hierarchical fashion, and you can assign things to various people on your team. With our latest release, we also have now empowered the individual developers and testers to be able to use a more simple format for accessing their tasks. That feature is called the task board, and it's now available under My Task Board. If your team has ever used a whiteboard for a task board, you're probably familiar with this metaphor. Normally teams will have a whiteboard that has a to-do list, and it'll show all of the tasks that they've been assigned underneath that to-do list. They may also have an in-progress list that will show all of the items that they're currently working on but not yet completed. And then finally, you'll probably have a completed list that will show all of the items that you've completed for a particular time frame. The latest version of our software allows you to do all of this virtually. As you can see from the screen, once you go into your task board, it looks similar to a whiteboard. It first shows you all of the items that you have in your to-do list in this column right here. It also shows you the items that you're currently working on in the in progress column. And then finally, it shows you all of the items that you've completed for a particular time frame in the completed column. You can also query this for particular date ranges. If you wanted to go back and look for a year and see all of the tasks that you've completed, you can very easily do this. Now this will show you only the tasks that are assigned to you, so it's very tailored to the person that's logged in to the application at any given time. Some additional things that you'll see here from the task board that makes this nice is under the to-do list, it will aggregate the total hours of work you still have remaining. Likewise, in the in progress area, it'll show you how many hours are in progress. And then finally, in the completed task board, you can see all of the details for each one of the tasks you completed. You can see the estimate, the actual, as well as the variance. On your task board, you'll notice that the cards on the board are color-coded, and each of the colors have a significance. If the background color of the card, for example this one, is white, it simply means that that task is not yet due. If it's green, like this one, it means that that task is due today. For example, I can see that this is due on the 7th of April. If it has a red background, it means that this particular task is overdue. For example, this one was due on March 31st, and March 31st has come and gone. Now, as you're looking at your task list, you can also post hours to anything that you work on for the day. So let's say that I was working on this particular task here today, this creating the 9.7 sprint for requirements. If I wanted to post time to that, I simply press post hours, and then I can put in how many hours I worked today. Let's say that I worked 2 hours on it, and let's say that I feel like I have 1 more hour left to go. I can then slide over and describe in the description exactly what I did. Maybe I created the framework. Okay. Once I press submit, it will then post those hours, and as soon as those hours are posted, I can go back to the dashboard and notice that my task board has moved this item from the to-do list into my in progress list here. If I were to complete the item, for example, if I come here and post hours and say I worked 1 hour and I have no time remaining, in other words, it's 100% done, as soon as I post that, it will then post it into there, and it'll move it then into the completed column over here. Now, if you do make a mistake and you still want to work on some things that you've already completed, you can always take an item and then drag it back into a particular area. For example, I can move this back into progress, or I can move it back on my to-do list if I want to restart that from the very beginning. So the drag and drop capability allows you to do that. Now, when you're looking at your tasks, you can also see this across all of your project plans, or you can drill into a particular plan and then it will re-query the data based on what you're asking it for. Okay, so I can very easily toggle between my various plans, or I can aggregate everything. You may have also noticed that on the bottom of the screen it will show you if you have tasks in other projects. For example, in this particular project, I have 4 tasks that are in the to-do list items for 40 hours. If I want to see those, I simply navigate to this SmartBear Releases project by simply choosing it right here. It will then re-query the task board, putting you in that particular project. So you can very easily move back and forth between projects by simply toggling them right there. That completes the demo of the task board. We hope you enjoyed this functionality.